Today we will learn how to set up inventory in MenuMax. To begin, we need to enter the inventory section of MenuMax. We can do this by clicking on the inventory button in the top navigation from anywhere within the MenuMax application, or if we're on the home screen, we can click this inventory icon. Both are going to take you to the same place. This is the screen that you will see when you have never set up your inventory before. This is a one-time process. Now, it is possible for you to see a different button here. You may see map vendors, and what that is telling you is one or more of your products, your order guides inside MenuMax, do not contain any contact information. So you need to associate those vendors with contact. So if you go back to the products page, it will show you your inventory, and there you can manually add that contact information. Once you've done so, you will see this Get Started Now button. Since all of my vendors do have associated contact information, I see the Get Started Now button. So I'm going to go ahead and click that to begin. Now, this inventory setup process is 5 steps. It is a one-time process, but at any time you can come back and manage your inventory and change how things are set up. So it is not set in stone if you want to make changes later down the road. So step 1 is manage inventory locations, and here is where you will set the locations as it applies to your business. So we've given you some default locations: dry storage, freezer, walk-in, cooler, and kitchen. Any of these can be changed, so we can edit, and you can change the name. Click Save. You can add a location. So if we want to add, we call these child locations and these parent locations. If I want to add a top shelf, I can do so. Click Save. Now I want to add a bottom shelf also to this dry storage. So let's click Add. I'll do bottom shelf and click Save. You can also add another location. So if you have a front cooler, maybe out in your restaurant you have a cooler with cheeses and meats, you can add as many of these inventory locations as you need. You can also delete locations. If you have products in these locations, MenuMax is going to tell you that you have items associated with it and you will lose that information. But since I haven't set that up yet, I'm just going to click OK. Now we'll move on to step 2. Step 2 is not required for your inventory setup, but it will help you later down the line. This is where you can organize products by category. So to take your products, here you will see all the products that we have in MenuMax. You can either sort through every item that is in your order guides that you've uploaded to MenuMax, or if you only want to see those items that are associated with recipes or menus inside MenuMax, you can use this filter here, Show Only Products Linked to Recipes or Menus. Now it will populate only those products. So from here, you can check and put these into categories 2 ways. You can take your checked items, click, and drag, and you'll see I have 3 items selected, and you can hover over any of these categories. They will light up in the dark blue, and just drop. Now we will see that I have 3 products assigned to the seafood refrigerated. You can also check and move by clicking this Move Selected Products to drop down, and you can select your location, and now you will see those 3 products were moved to that category. You can also select all, and again use whatever method you want to put into categories. Now you also have the ability to filter. You can type the name of the product if you were searching for a specific product from your order guide. You can also select by the brands from your order guide or the individual order guide. Let's move on to step 3. Step 3 is required for inventory setup. This is where you're going to put your products in the locations that they exist in your business. So much like step 2, we can select items and we can drag. And any of these locations that light up in blue are places that you are able to add your products to. So you'll notice that with dry storage, it's not lit up. Dry storage 2 is in white, but the top shelf and bottom shelf are in blue. And that is because when you add child locations to a parent location, you no longer can just put something in dry storage. You have to specify whether it is on a top shelf or a bottom shelf in dry storage. So I'm going to put all these on the bottom shelf. It'll light up dark blue, and I'll drop. And now 3 products have been assigned to the bottom shelf. Again, you can show only the products that are linked to recipes or menus. Select some. We'll drag and drop these to cooler. You can also use the Move Selected Products to drop-down tab and move them to a location. Now you will notice that products can be put in multiple locations. While they can only be put in one category, they can be in multiple locations. So here you will see that these Fuji apples, the butter solid unsalted is in 2 locations. If you hover over that, it tells you the cooler and the walk-in are where those items are stored. So we can also select all, or if you want to filter using a category, you can start typing in the name. So anchovy, and it brings up that item. You can filter it by category as you organized it in step 2. This is where that comes in handy. If you know that an entire category of your produce is in your cooler, then you can just select produce here, select all for the items, and just move everything quickly to your cooler. So that's where that comes in handy. You can also filter by brand and by specific order guide. I'll clear the filter, and I'll finish this by selecting all. Okay, I'm going to move these to the kitchen. Now we'll move on to step 4. Step 4 is where we will create our customized count sheets. MenuMax gives you this all inventory template if you just want to count everything that is in your inventory. Or if you'd like to create a new template, we'll just click the New Template button, and I'm going to give it a name. We'll do Monday's Count, because I only will count specific locations and categories on Monday. So I can now choose the categories that I want to count. So I want to count my dry storage, and it populates all the items that I have placed in the dry storage. And I want to count my cooler. So I'll select the cooler and all the items that I have put in the cooler as well. Now I can whittle it down even more if you wanted to select by seafood. You could select by the category here if you set up your categories, if you know you only want to count that category. Or if you know you only want to count items from a specific vendor, you can do so this way. Once you have selected the information that you want to include in that count sheet, just click Save Template. And now under Templates, we will see there's Monday's Count. Let's move on to step 5. Step 5 is where you set your par levels. And what this allows you to do is this allows you to create a document that you can compare to your vendor's invoices to make sure that all the items that you have ordered have come in correctly as your order. So here we're setting the par level. This is the number that we never want to go below. So I want to always have 2 of these on hand, 4 of these, 5 of these. This par level is going to ensure that I never run out of a product and then unable to complete one of my recipes for my restaurant. So once you have all of this information populated, you can also whittle this down if you don't want to see all of the items. You can select the vendor, the category, or you can search for an individual product. We'll just click Save Par Levels. And now if we click back to inventory, since we've worked through all 5 steps, you will see we have our inventory page where we can count our inventory, we can add purchase orders, or we can manage our inventory. At any time, if you want to change how you set things up inside MenuMax, just click this Manage button and it will take you back to those 5 steps. Manage inventory locations, organize products by category, organize products by location, manage count sheets, or set par levels. And that is how you set up your inventory in MenuMax.